Hey guys, welcome to the HitmonChannel. We are your tour guides, Noah.
I'm Jacob.
And welcome to the final episode of our playthrough of Scooby-Doo First Frights. And I must say, I'm really liking how weirdly consistent the lengths of these LPs have been so far. Aside from Paper Mario, obviously. Because
You say that now, but wait for the 30-hour marathon. That will be the last episode of the
Jesus Christ, no. we just do the final episode as a 24-hour live stream. No, we're not doing that, guys. But we're not doing that.
We're not. Not insane enough. That
I would be like in a different situation. I would be down for a 24-hour live stream of some sort in the future, but like that is definitely not something I can do currently in my life.
Yeah. Also, like 24-hour lives are deceptively taxing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to find like some intermission in that.
I mean, I've done 24-hour theater twice at my college, and that's a blast, but also, yeah, very taxing. Anyway, let me actually get into the game. Sorry, I was checking my Disney Tops app in between episodes, which it seems to be glitching out a lot lately. Like, wait, yeah, no, they are literally slapping together two completely different mysteries, because we have the werewolf that we're currently running away from. We have that white wolf that we're currently running away from, and then there's also, like, the frickin' Hornet King from, Black Cauldron from the beginning.
Horned King, not Horned.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Horned King.
It sounds very similar to Hornet King, which would definitely be the supervillain which would definitely be the name of the supervillain behind the murder hornet infestation in America.
And then of course there's the Horny King, who is the villain in the porn parody The Black Cauldron. Anyway, oh god. And so we've got Viking Daphne, and Knight Gladiator Fred, I believe. So, yeah. But yeah, oh, there's something I was gonna bring up, but didn't bring up in the last episode because we were at time and I forget what it was already. Oh my god, I just hit this guillotine and it came down and just dispersed Scooby snacks. That is got to be the weirdest place to get. Oh my god, and the fucking gulag too. Is that what that's called? Is that what this thing is called? The wooden handcuffs, essentially, that you also put your head in.
Okay, well, hold on, I'm gonna just double check something.
I thought it was called the gulags, but I'm not sure. Gulag might be something entirely different. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Gulags, something very different. The gulags were Soviet labor camps.
Where the fuck did I get? I must have heard it in today's episode of Game Grumps, where they played Soviet.
The Soviet drinking episode, yeah.
That's probably where I. That's probably why I had that name in my mind. Fucking. And what's the thing called? What is
I'm
that
gonna
thing
Google
called then?
They were stocks.
Stocks. Okay. Wow.
Maybe you were because they're both public displays of either
Yeah, maybe.
displays of punishment, making association of the gallows leading to gulags.
Jesus Christ! Those fucking spikes from the wall, just would absolutely just destroy. That's really dark for a Scooby-Doo. This whole level is really dark for Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Well,
at least as far as I know, at least there hasn't been a hobbling wheel yet.
Oh, the wheel that you tie someone to?
Yeah.
Yeah. I swear to God.
And the medieval ages were bizarrely creative when it came to torture and execution devices.
Yeah. We also haven't gotten a phalanged mace. But Jesus Christ, so many guillotines. This. Oh, man.
And then there's everyone's favorite medieval torture device, treadmill.
Was that actually designed as a medieval torture device?
So the idea was that people convicted of whatever crime someone decided that this was worth punishing someone with would have their hands tied, hands and arms tied to a wooden post above them, and be put on this little thing wherever they stand, and the wheel collapses from underneath them, constantly have to run up the thing. And the motion caused by that then grind grain like a mill.
Oh, shit. Oh my God. There's 1,000,000 trapdoors, and if I hit this button, they all go down, and if there's any enemies on them, they just...
Nice. Did you catch all the description, or just part of me cut out?
I think I missed some of it because I was paying attention to the game, and just the trapdoors caught me off guard.
Okay. So, yeah. It was people had their arms tied something above them, to stand on the wheel thing that would constantly burn out from underneath them under their own weight, and they have to walk up it to not be hanging from the thing.
Oh God!
That forward momentum would basically operate a mill.
Wow.
Grind grain, hence the term treadmill.
Oh, okay. That that makes a lot more sense now.
And then it was. And then it was made a lot better and uses a form of exercise.
Yeah, wow.
People realize, because at some point someone realized, hey, a device that causes people to run in place for a long time but not go anywhere, that could be really useful if it wasn't actual torture. And you were right.
Oh God, now I'm just getting flashbacks to what the few clips I've seen of the Final Destination movies via pretty much its reaction video. Because there is a scene in a gym where I forget what particular weight machine this guy is using, but like these swords that are like crossed behind him like come down and like cut some like wire on the machine, and he does the machine and it like smashes his head.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. And one of the guys, and pretty much it, like his reaction to that scene is like, if I saw that in real life, I probably would never have sex again. Like, you'd just be too distraught, like, to ever have sex. Like, even though sex was not at all related. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, yeah, that thing. Oh, the wizard's dead. Okay. I was like, where is this fucking wizard? And then I realized I killed him a little while ago.
Okay, I would like to preface some of this for saying that it is at times kind of weird to try and think of medieval torture devices, because a number of famous ones like this, as far as anyone knows, there's no historical record of it ever being used. Like, for example, the Iron Maiden, as far as I know, there's no historical record of anyone using an Iron Maiden.
Oh, interesting. Iron Maiden's the one that's like a closet with spikes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the fancy versions are designed to look like a lady on the outside.
Ah. Cool.
It's the Maiden and Iron Maiden.
So
it's more like it was more like a murdery version of the male.
Yeah.
The Russian nesting dolls, whose actual name I can never pronounce properly.
Yeah. Also referred to as the Chokey in Matilda.
Yeah. So there's actually a bit kinder in Matilda. It's the idea behind their Iron Maiden is that you wouldn't have that room to stand. It would actually just stab into you.
Yeah. Yeah. Matilda's one of those... I never have seen the original movie, actually. But I've seen a live performance of the musical. And I'm honestly not a fan of it. It's basically just... it's basically just Annie, but meaner, and with sudden superpowers, halfway through. Which you'd think that would make me more interested, but, after just watching all these kids be mistreated, the superpowers coming in is just wow, really? This is where we're going with this?
So, I'd like to quickly mention that, the first site that came up when I searched medieval torture devices to just, find some examples of some more weird ones. Listed ranked the torture devices on a craziness scale where the base unit was Tom Cruise's.
Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
And the scale went to some number of Tom Cruises, then a certain number of Tom Cruises got you at Bill O'Reilly, then DMX, then from there was a DMX, and then from there was a Mel Gibson.
Wow.
I must say, interesting scale.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Not entirely inaccurate. Fucking... Although I definitely would pick, while Tom Cruise and Mel Gibson are both crazy, I probably would have picked different celebrities, for my, I would rank them on, a Nicolas Cage scale.
Oh, and then there's the Brazen Bull, or Sicilian Bull, it's sometimes known as. That, as far as I know, was only ever used on the guy that made it.
Oh. Why would he test it on himself?
He didn't test it. He did something that caused some, he did something in turn, supposedly he did something that caused someone to want to execute him, and so they used his own torture device because, haha, irony.
You've created a horrific contraption that cannot ever be used. As punishment, we will use it on you.
Basically, the idea is that it was a metal bowl with a compartment inside. And you'd put the victim in the compartment, then light a fire underneath the bowl.
Oh, shit. There's one of those in the movie High Life, but it's not used for torture, it's used for sex.
And then the idea would be you'd be stuck inside, burning to death against the metal, and the screams would sound like a bull making...
God, High Life is a really uncomfortable movie to watch. It's one I had to watch for my science fiction cinema class. I might have mentioned it on the podcast when we were talking about Under the Skin, because it is another A24 film. Stars Robert Pattinson. And, the beginning of that movie really leads you into a false sense of security, because it takes place, later on, the beginning takes place later on, and then, the film starts to go back to tell you, how we got to where we are, you know, like movies do, and, it's just, it's Robert Pattinson's character and a baby alone on this ship. The rest of the crew members are dead, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be kind of a cute little, Robert Pattinson has to manage survival in space while also raising a kid. That's a neat idea. Nope, the film is not at all about that. Because then it cuts back and, basically it's revealed that, Robert Pattinson, along with most of the other, crew members on the ship, are actually, prisoners on death row that have been sent on a mission to investigate a black hole. And, the US government basically sends them because, oh, well, they're gonna die anyway. We don't care about whether they live or die. Let's just send them on this potentially deadly mission to space. And see if we can get some more information about black holes out of it. So yeah, and then it gets, really dark because, there's, multiple instances of rape in the movie. One of which is, so there's, this... There's a doctor on the ship who is actually on death row because she allegedly murdered her children. And she wants to, she's obsessed with, reproduction and wants to, successfully, reproduce, successfully, make a baby in space. And so she's, receiving, and, like I said, there's, a sex chamber, for people to, you know, relieve their needs. Because as a wise man once said, men have needs. That wise man being me, of course.
Well, while we're talking about torture devices isn't too far off in the conversation, I'd like to quickly mention that Hobbling Wheel might be more famously known by the name Catherine Wheel.
Ah. Okay. Also, these guys look like Shrek before he took off the knight armor.
What?
I already killed them, but those enemies that I just killed looked like Shrek before he took off the knight armor.
Oh.
But anyway, so, like, yeah, so, like, there's this sex chamber where, like, both men and women can sort of relieve their needs, and, the doctor is actually collecting semen samples from, all the men on the ship, in an attempt to, artificially create a baby. The one man that doesn't willingly give her semen samples is Robert Pattinson's character. But then there's a point in the movie where, the doctor sneaks into Robert Pattinson's room while he's asleep, has sex with him while he's asleep, but, like, just before he, spills his baby batter, sorry to make light of this scene, but, like, I need to because it's very uncomfortable. She
needed her minimum one. She needed to add to her game reference.
Yeah. She, like, takes a syringe full of his semen and then forcibly injects it into a sleeping girl who was raped in a previous scene, I might add.
Aww.
So, yeah, sorry to get really, like, dark on this episode, but, like...
And you just had to one-up me talking about medieval torture devices, didn't you?
Well, you brought up the bull, and so it made me...
Yeah. I've just learned of something called the Pair of Anguish, and it sounds so stupid that I need to, like, the name is so stupid that I need to figure out what the hell this is.
Oh, yeah, and what makes the scene even worse is that, she is successful in impregnating that girl with Robert Pattinson's semen, and it turns out that the baby, from the beginning of the movie, is their child. So, that, yeah... It all ties together in a really horrible way. Yeah. Again, it's... A24 is such a fucking mixed bag, dude.
Yeah.
I did recently watch, another, movie from A24, that was really good, and also broke my heart a little bit. I'll probably talk about it more on the podcast at some point, but, The Florida Project.
Huh?
That movie's very good. It's on Netflix if you want to check it out. It is very good and very sad. It's basically about this family living in poverty in a motel, that is near Disney World. And yeah, it's very good performances. Most of the cast, it was like their film debut. Like the actress who plays the mom, like, took, like, a week of acting classes before filming the film or something. She took, like, a few acting classes immediately before filming the film, but had never done any acting before that. So it's insane how good the performances are for, like, how, like, little experience most of the cast had. But then it's also got Willem Dafoe in a supporting role that he was actually nominated for an Oscar for. And, yeah, he's very good. Oh, hell yeah, we got Scooby Ninja. But yeah, wow, that hallway that I just spun into existence looked very 2D before stuff came out of it. Yeah, anyway, yeah, let's talk about something more positive.
Yeah, because I just found out what the pair of English is supposed to be, and I'm regret looking it up.
Oh. Well, let's not discuss it anymore because we need positivity.
Let's just put it this way. In the description of it, I saw specifically specifically designed to be used against medieval women, and I got scared.
Oh. Oh. All right. Yeah. Anyway. Oh fuck. Jurassic Park. Yeah, I mean, another film I watched for my science fiction cinema class. I mean, we've already talked about this in a video, I'm pretty sure. God, what else could I talk about? Oh fuck. Oh god, damn it. I need to think of something. Have you seen any good movies lately?
I have not. Which reminds me, I really need to get around to watching zombies because I've been forgetting to do that.
Yeah.
It's weird because I don't really have anything that's distracting me.
Well, yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh fuck. I'm like really trying hard to think of something positive to bring up. Parasite's really good. I watched that recently too. I can't get into many details because Jacob hasn't seen it yet, and I don't want to spoil it for him. But let's just say that is another movie that like you will not find anything like it. It is very unique, and you will not see what's coming, and it's very good.
And my search history has gotten a lot weirder for the FBI agent watching me. I love the joke of just into Google and then going, well, the FBI's going to have a field day with this.
That's why you use incognito, dude.
I mean, I do. Like, most of the things I only realize, like, most of the things that I Googled that I would make that joke about, I only realize are weird after I've typed them in.
Fair
Which
enough.
is weird, because a lot of cases I feel like the weirdness should be, like, obvious up front. For example, I remember a while back trying to Google the combustion point of human flesh.
Okay, now I'm scared.
was okay. I was trying to come up with my own game theory style explanation for why a character could do a certain thing in a video game. I'm going to be vague in case anyone minds spoilers for Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And there's a couple of things that I really want to figure out, but I also definitely feel like would put me on, like, they would stick out like a sore thumb in terms of like search history things. So, like, or a death battle related, like if they wanted to like do with some examination of characters for a death battle type thing, and for one of the instances, a character survives essentially a massive explosion. I wanted to determine like roughly much power, like how powerful an explosion that was, like roundabout metrics that I found ways to come up with do the measurement. I have been not very fruitful with Google search algorithm, at least for me. Yeah. And I do not feel like putting into the Google search algorithm how big of a bomb do you need to destroy an X-story tall building.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be worse.
Yeah, that would. I'm not shooting myself in the foot on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just wait 5 years for Death Battle to the character.
Oh yeah, you gotta. Yeah, I'm actually curious about like, I I wonder, like, how much stuff Death Battle has had to research that could potentially get them on a watch list.
Yeah. The first, I have to imagine that, like, if there are some things with formulas that, like, they've long since written down the formulas so much they don't have to go back and keep Googling it, but yeah.
I wonder if there are certain characters they won't ever put in Death Battle because of that, actually. That'd be really interesting to know, like, what characters would not be put in Death Battle simply because the search, the Google searches required for such a combatant would get them on a watch list.
Yeah, I don't even. Okay. Realistically, the searches, like. Okay, the only situation would go in two directions I could think that would go with. Either for some reason, like, it's a show where, like, powers or whatever are framed in a really horrible way, which I can't imagine them doing in a Death Battle like that anyway. Or it just the metrics are very, like, hard to calculate, just, like, based on, like, mesh. The references are just, like, a bunch of, like, things that are commonly associated with terrorism, causing them to put a lot of that into the search history. And
fair enough, yeah. Like, the cast of 1998's Memorial Day versus... God. Well, I mean, that's not gonna happen in a Death Battle for completely different reasons. Because that movie is just generic as hell and not worth... Like, there's no really unique characters in it that you could...
Yeah.
Although...
Or even, like, well-known or popular characters.
Yeah. Although, like I said, the main character is basically just Bucky, so I would love to see Bucky kick the shit out of him. Oh,
man. Also, for anyone who was wondering, the character that I was trying to do an explosion survival measurement of was, on the off chance that any of the 5 people know what the fuck I'm going on about when I say this character's name, Chainsaw Man.
Is there seriously a character in Fire Emblem Fates named Chainsaw Man?
No, this is for the explosion, not the combustion thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The explosion was from the series Chainsaw Man, about the character who is Chainsaw Man, but is never referred to as Chainsaw Man. Man whose superpower is chainsaws.
Would his combatant be Lollipop Chainsaw? Or the much less likely Buzzsaw Louie from VeggieTales, the toy that saved Christmas?
Okay, you said Lollipop Chainsaws as a joke, but now I'm actually trying to consider that. It doesn't help that I have never seen any footage of someone playing Lollipop Chainsaw, though.
Well, Lollipop Chainsaw wasn't a joke. That was just my one suggestion, given how little information you gave me.
Yeah.
And also how little I know about Lollipop Chainsaw. Oh, man.
Okay. Would you like to hear the premise of the series? As long as we're on the topic.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. The premise of the series is, 1, it's a manga. 2, I only bring that up because I described it to someone and they replied it to me by saying, that is one of the most manga things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
The series follows a character named Denji, who is a Japanese teenager in serious debt to the Yakuza, whose only friend is a dog that is also a devil that is also a chainsaw. One day, the Yakuza betray him, murdering him and his chainsaw devil dog. And then to save his life, the chainsaw devil dog merges with Denji and gives him the power to turn into chainsaws.
Oh man, I'm really disappointed they didn't give me the ninja outfit for Scooby for this final boss fight.
And so he uses that power to be forced to join a devil hunting organization and fight devils themed after random concepts that people are mildly afraid of. Only severely afraid of. It's a weird relationship with that series. Because there's a lot of things about it that feel off, but it's the only thing in a while that I've read through twice.
Also, holy shit, what the fuck could possibly be the technological explanation for this shit?
Good question.
I'm really curious to see what their actual explanation is gonna be for this. Ah!
Yes.
Oh my god, it's the fucking... This is Iron Knuckle.
I'm guessing you probably didn't hear and didn't catch the reference.
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you hear what I said, I guess, first of all?
No, I did not.
You were asking what the technical explanation would possibly be, and I said swamp gas.
Oh.
And what that's a reference to, if you don't know, is in the direct sequel to Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, of Velma on their return to Zombie Island, where there are actual zombies and demons. Velma, basically trying to convince everyone and herself that no, it wasn't actually zombies and demons. They were just hallucinating because of swamp gas.
Oh yeah, didn't they completely contradict the characters' ages in that direct sequel?
Maybe, I don't know. I've only recently learned that it even existed. So
I seem to remember hearing about that on I think a What Culture video actually. About movie sequels with glaring plot holes. Yeah, apparently they're stated to be much younger in the sequel than they were in the original Zombie Island.
Also, a Scooby-Doo thing that I somehow only recently learned existed. Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts.
Oh yeah, they recently finished off that arc.
Because for those who don't know, the premise of Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts is that there's this box that contains 13 actual ghosts, and it gets opened, and Scooby-Doo, Daphne, Aggie, then Scooby-Doo, and then two other new characters named Vincent Van Ghoul and Flim Flam, go on an adventure to try and capture all the ghosts, but at the end of the series, they've only captured 12 ghosts, and then they just never got back to that for 30 years.
Wow, that was so... that was so much easier than the previous two bosses. I gotta say, that was way easier. Also, yeah, wow, we actually have conflicting clues, because we found her slippers, but we also found his something. But I think it's the lady. I think it's the lady. Oh, okay.
That was the thing that was underneath the. Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Oh god, those teeth are creepy. Oh wow, so yeah, I was making a joke about there not being a good technological explanation for how they pulled that shit off, but it's actually implied that it was actual magic. Alright. Also, how did we collect the monster mask then? How? How? Ah, no credits? Really? No credits? Is there rewards? No? Oh, man. Wait, hang on. The White Queen. What about that character design said White Queen to you?
Good question.
Because it was definitely more black and purple to me.
Was it supposed to be a pun on white, as in like the type of undead monster? WHT?
I don't know.
They definitely made that pun in Dragon Quest at the very least.
Well, there's like no. Wait, what the? Wait, hold on. What is? Hang on. Oh my god, is this a trailer for the terrible, like, direct-to-DVD live-action movies they made? Oh my god, it is.
They were direct-to-DVD ones?
Yeah, with a completely different cast.
Remember there were more live-action ones with a different cast, but they were direct-to-DVD?
I think so.
I feel like I remember seeing them on a channel somewhere.
Also,
I used some of them.
That Scooby-Doo design looks strangely like it belongs in Food Fight. Yeah, Scooby-Doo: The Mystery Begins. I think it got a sequel. I don't think it got released in theaters.
No, I'm pretty sure it didn't get released in theaters, but I definitely remember seeing it on just normal TV somewhere.
Oh, it's just all clips from the thing. Alright, interesting. Well, I'm a little disappointed there's not credits, but, I mean, whatever. Overall, I think this game was pretty good, honestly. It was a lot better than I was expecting, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's just purchase some of these. Because we got plenty of Scooby snacks. Could probably purchase most of them, if not all of them. Probably
wait. Go back a few. You've bought them all. That one.
This one?
No, not that one. The one after that one.
That
one.
Yeah?
Knockoff Stitch, yeah.
Oh my god, it does look like Stitch. I didn't think of that before, but now that you point it out, yeah, it totally does look like a knockoff Stitch. Okay.
So that fish monster is like almost like it's like the fish monster of the Trident is like a slightly more cartoony version of a monster straight out of Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah. Wow, the Scooby-Doo Ninja outfit is 9,000. Okay. We didn't have as many as I thought. That's for our last one. Oh. Yeah. There we go. Well, yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this series. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I again, I didn't know exactly what to expect, but it was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. And yeah, I don't know, thoughts on the series overall, Jacob? Thoughts on the
Went
series?
on a lot weirder rants than I was expecting, that's for sure.
Yeah, we had some
Tangent.
we had some interesting discussions.
And we talked about weird court cases, medieval torture devices. You ranted about theater for a while.
And film club.
Film club.
Yeah. Man, that's gonna be.
I brought up Chainsaw Man existing.
Yeah. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this series. We of course Paper Mario will still be going on. And probably gonna focus more on that for the time being, but eventually I don't know if it'll have gone up. I don't know if any of the episodes will have gone up at this point, but the next series I'm planning on, the next game I'm planning on playing is SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman for PS2. So, stay tuned for that. But, yeah, of course, Paper Mario will be going up, of course, and, yeah, that's pretty much it. Holy shit, I'm actually beating games on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is such a weird feeling. I mean, this wasn't a hard game by any means, but like, yeah. Anyway, well, I'll see you guys in whatever the next one is. I mean, I just said what the next one will be, but like, what? I'll see you guys in whatever the next video you see is, I guess. I'm Noah.
I'm Jacob.
Peace.
Adios.